and the internet goes. The Maddie Daddy, all gas, no breaks. Tonight is the night, the Wednesday night to light. We are doing it live, and when it's live, I'm digging it the most. So tonight we're talking breakouts. We're talking Scott Fish. We might talk a little merch. You never know. But let's get started, because tonight is the night. I went up north. I went to Canada, and I brought back the finest you can find. That good, baby. So I'm going to intro them in. First, needs no introduction other than this. Smoke Show! Yeah! Smokey, give them hell. Josh Nelson. What? A furry?
I can barely contain myself with such excitement building within me. What's cracking, brother?
Hell yeah, dude. True North Fantasy Football, the Jet Sweep, and the Smoke Show, your newest adventure that you have been kicking ass for Fantasy Points Live. Before we get started, dude, fill us in on the Smoke Show, baby.
It's been an absolute blast. I mean, I rolled the first kind of iteration of this out last year. It was a little different, a little slightly less serious. I did fake commercials and everything, but I stripped it down to the nuts and just said, you know what, I want to have a different focus, something that stood out from the crowd a little bit. So I decided to do a pure interview show, and not just one-on-one interviews and stuff like that. Have a feature interview with a quote unquote bigger name. And then have a bunch of micro interviews, 5 to 10 minutes each, sandwich those all together. So you're getting multiple perspectives from a bunch of different people, not necessarily just one kind of stream of information from one source.
Love it, dude. And you are a fantasy analyst. You are extraordinaire. I have seen you all over Viridian Global's website, my man. This is like Hollister model, Calvin Klein. I don't know, but I'm digging it. I see those guys standing outside in the mall, and you could be one. But for every stud, there is a diamond. And that diamond is about to jump on. Main man, Big Willie. I met him over the summer, dude. He is effing aces. And to talk breakouts, to talk Scott Fish Bowl, talk Canadian Best Ball Championship, that new. I'm bringing it to you. It's Harris time, baby.
What is going on, boys? Maddie, it's a pleasure. We've had this in the works for a while, and that I get to rock it with my co-host, Josh. It's just that much better. And dudes, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna keep up with you two tonight, but I'm gonna try my damnedest. I had a greens drink beforehand, so that's about as high as my energy level is gonna go. I'm just gonna try to keep up with you two boys, and I'm really excited to be here.
You're the point guard, baby. You're making sure this doesn't go off the rails too much.
That's right, guys. I'll set you boys up for the slam dunks. That's what I do.
Well, dude, I want to set you up before we talk breakouts. Scott Fish Bowl, you see it in the corner. You see Viridian Global. This is something you have made. You've been doing gear, everything, and you have kind of taken over the Scott Fish Bowl and made this all about charity and just kind of giving back to the community. So if you haven't heard of Viridian Global, www.viridianglobal.com, rocking the V gear. You see Josh, you see Harris, you see the Maddie Daddy. We are rocking that gear. So let's talk the gear. Let's talk Scott Fish Bowl gear.
Yeah, Absolutely, Maddie. Thanks. And they can find your awesome merch on the show, the Maddie, the wrestling mat gear, which is absolutely awesome, and all the True North gear. And thanks so much for your support. I can't take a lot of credit for the Scott Fishbowl merch. That would be my partner, Mark Mathick, who he's an absolute genius, madman creator. He's created over 35 different designs, all from scratch, all hand-drawn designs that are unique and original. And he's got a passion for football, and he's got a passion for music. You can see the passion for music with those designs. Go and check it out. And we are donating the proceeds of all the t-shirts and the merch to charity. We're going to be making a really special announcement here very shortly, once we get all the thumbs up on who we're going to donate to. But it's going to be something really special for kids, both worldwide and here locally in Canada as well. So keep your ears peeled for that. And then I said that Mark has a passion for football, and dude, we've got over 100 player designs. I know, Maddie, you love your Josh Allen. All Buffalo needed was a cowboy t-shirt.
A cowboy.
You always look awesome rocking that. I'm rocking this Najee Harris hat right now that Mark designed, and our Hollister model, Josh Smoky Hell Melson, he tours out a new player t-shirt, it seems like, on every other podcast. So come and check us out, guys.
That's swag, baby.
That's right. Come and check us out. It's quality stuff. We're working hard to rep football, give you guys something unique to wear.
Love it. Josh, dude, we're talking Scott Fishbowl. Let's talk your squad. What pick did you have in the draft?
So I don't know. I wanted to bring this up on the big True North Scott Fishbowl collaborative pod that we had with fucking everyone and their dog. I don't know if anyone in True North actually requested their draft spot or not. I could be wrong on this, but we all requested our divisions. Myself, I did not request a draft spot. I was just happy to be here, man. This is my first time at Scott Fishbowl, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Same here, dude. I think I applied like this is my third or fourth year, and I was just pumped to get in, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I ended up getting the 103, which, with the third round reversal, maybe not the greatest spot, but you know what? I did so many mocks and tried every single kind of different build I could think of, and every one of them I was okay with. I liked it. I didn't mind the third round reversal because you get to snipe 101 and 102 2 times in a row on the good players, and it lets you dictate it a little bit. But for myself, I started off with Kelsey. I said in every single mock, and I was not shy about this, if he fell to me at 103, I was taking him, hands down. The guy was the 6th best scorer in this format last year. He is a monster for receiving first down work. He is the lead receiver on his team. And with the tight end premium, just the positional advantage you get from Kelsey, it's a no-brainer, man. Coming back, there was a pretty big QB run. I went with Matt Stafford because I knew it was going to be a little while before I picked again at the 310. Then ended up getting Najee, which I was very happy about. He was a target of mine. And there was a weird turn. Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated ended up taking Goddard as the 6th tight end overall, and AJ Brown fell to me, and I'm like, you can't pass on AJ Brown. I had game planned him not being there, so him being there, it would be rude to pass. So I ended up taking AJ Brown, and then it came back to me, and I was like, I got sniped like 5 picks in a row. My Q just got absolutely decimated. Friedman sniped me on Lance, which kind of made me feel nice in a way because he sniped the guy that I like. So I ended up going with Fields and took CD on the way back. Or no, it was CD and then Fields on the way back. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, a lot of big first down targets on this roster. I'm pretty happy with it. Taking a guy like Fields allows me to really wait before I need to take Dalton, because who the hell is going to draft Dalton in a league that you can't trade?
Oh, absolutely. Dude, Will, we got a question for you, man. Let's talk You boys experiencing super slow picks first year, and it's a snail. Fill us in on that.
Yeah, we had somebody, this is second year for me, third year, including satellites. And we had somebody unfortunately time out day one. So I think that they were, we were trying to give this person as much time as humanly possible. I hope that they're all right. It got to about the 6-hour mark, and the rage against the machine, the anger took over, fitting for the rage division. But everybody was super cool. We reached out to Scott, got that person replaced. Our replacement has been awesome. On top of it, I think that they're actually drafting from the waiting room at the hospital as his wife is gonna give birth. So,
dedicated. I love it.
Absolutely super dedicated. Great group of people that we're drafting with. Today was a slow day. Stuff happens, right? Like life happens, and fantasy football is can take a lot of our time and a lot of our commitment, but there's other stuff going on, and everybody's pretty understanding. The communications there, but yeah, it could
football one, everything else second. I get it.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's a great crew. We're into round 7 or 8 now, so we're clipping along pretty well.
P Nasty, AJ Brown after go there. Sounds like amateurs are drafting.
Ooh,
hey, you called Fabiano that, not me.
Yeah,
that was you. That was Fabiano. That was them, not me.
I gotta say, man, that Goddard pick is bold. I saw that come across. I think it wasn't you. Who else? There's another Canadian in your division, right?
Trav's
Dave. Dave Bittiscombe is in your division.
Oh,
right?
yeah. FF Monsters. Yeah.
Dave let me know. I mean, Goddard is one of those guys that could hit this year. I mean, he's always had that potential when he's been healthy and he's been getting the volume. He's been that tight end one. He got a couple of weeks last year that he was tight end one. Fabiano, though, he's swinging for the fences with that pick. That's for sure.
That's a hell of a start, dude. Calvin Hobby, what's up?
What's up, Cal?
Oh, Gary, my boy. Dude, let's keep the good times going. Let's talk that roster, that slow draft. Let's talk this team.
So this is the team. I mean, I think what was it? Tyson said it best. You always have a plan until you get punched in the mouth, right? And this, my intention, of course, was to start off and lock in a couple of these round one kind of tight ends. So I was queued up at the 12 spot, and I thought, okay, there's probably a pretty good chance that Waller and Kittle are going to be there. In mocks, I thought about, hey, do I double tap the position and then flex out one of those guys on a weekly basis, giving me that, Smoke talked about that positional advantage. These top tier tight ends give you such an advantage. The win rates with Kelsey on your team last year in best ball was absolutely through the roof. Some of that there's naturally going to be some regression there, but I look at somebody like Darren Waller, if he had 3 or 4 more touchdowns, a little bit more red zone work, he certainly would have been at that Travis Kelce type level. He's got the volume there, and when the ball's in his hands, he's an absolute threat. So I was thinking, hey, Waller or Kittle are going to be there, potentially double tap them both, but I'm playing with some sharp people in the Rage division, and both of those guys were gone by the 12 spot. I mean, we had Waller go at 109, and then we had Kittle go right before the 12 spot at 11. So I thought to myself, okay, what do I do here? And I just couldn't pass up 2 RB1s right back to back there. Looking at what was happening on the draft board in terms of quarterback, I thought to myself, I think that I can get some elite talent later on here. This running back talent, I'm not going to be able to pick up in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round. I've got a pretty good feeling that I'm going to be able to pick up a mobile quarterback, and certainly these wide receivers are being pushed down the board because of the tight ends now. That first tier of tight ends that are now in that first round conversation, they are starting to suppress value of running backs, of quarterbacks, and then wide receivers are complete almost afterthought. Being able to pick up DJ Moore at the end of the 6th and then Deontay Johnson at the start of the 7th, to me is just incredible value. But let's talk a little bit about how those tight ends now, because of Kelsey's performance last year, what they've done to fantasy football as a whole. Certainly for Scott Fish, which is tight end premium, my league, the Canadian National Best Ball Champions League, rocking the shirt right now. As you can see, it's actually super tight end premium. These guys, Waller, Kittle, and Kelsey, are like in a tier of themselves, and the whole drafting experience in tight end premium, especially in Scott Fishbowl, has completely changed from last year. Completely changed.
I've just I feel like it's one of those, if you don't get those top tight ends, you're seeing them, you either see people mad dash for them or you just wait them out, man. Because I think I'm in a league, we're in like the 9th, 10th round, Tanyan, other guys, Irv Smith, they're still just sitting there, and I'm not even having to, put my foot on the pedal.
I'm kind of in that position right now. I'm kind of in this tight end dead zone where I've missed out on that top tier. I seriously considered Pitts at the 301 instead of Najee. I was super, super close, but I thought to myself, hey, there is potential. I know that Smoke loves the hell out of Pitts. I love Pitts too. I think he's going to be amazing. I drafted him early in the Canadian National Best Ball Champions League. But could Pitts have a similar season to Mike Gesicki or Irv Smith? Potentially. And we can get those. We can get those guys 6, 7, 8 rounds later. Could Pitts have a similar season to one of my favorites, one of my late round sleepers, Gerald Everett, for example, out in the Seahawks, getting that red zone work? It could happen. Do we know what the split is between tight end 5 and tight end 20? It's razor thin. And, I would rather bank that draft capital on Najee than go with something that's a little bit unknown in Pitts.
Hell yeah. I love it, dude. I'm interested in your quarterbacks because those are the same quarterbacks I ended up with. And I was like, do I take this guy? Do I don't? I was like, well, this might be the second coming of Christ. I was like, it's worth a shot. More questions, more people. Sheesh. Dude, Will, Jay, loved your team. What's up, boys? We made it, baby. P Nasty. He's a hometowner in Duval. He's got you covered. And then, nice. Jay, those running backs were the move to make. I'll go over my team briefly. I went juggernauts at RB, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. Got a little cute later and got Travis Etienne.
I love that stack, though, man. I love that stack.
Oh, it's just they feel like they're money. I mean, then Justin Jefferson, Terry, man, I felt like that was solid. There's really not a bad floor with those guys. Kenny Golladay, I feel like, is just getting disrespected. I don't know if that's the Daniel Jones effect or what. And then my quarterbacks upside, but could go really, really bad as well. So Lance, Lawrence, I'm feeling good about Winston. I really don't know what's going on there.
Good dart throw.
I love this. I love your team, Maddie. I was pissed that I didn't get that Etienne stack. Actually, I just missed out on Etienne. What I love about your team and those quarterbacks, though, is that it's all about upside. I keep saying that my Scott Fishbowl team is boom or boom. That's all we can do.
You got to do something different to compete. So here's my question: who did you take Trevor Lawrence over?
Ooh, I get, it wasn't that hard of a decision. It was really at that tier. It was really only Baker that was there. And for me, Baker doesn't give me the upside that T-Law does. Trevor Lawrence was at the end of a tier. And okay. I'm like, Trevor Lawrence or Baker, it's pretty much a no-brainer. Yeah. I guess it was more on the Lance decision because I took them back to back. It was, do I take Lance here or do I take Tua?
See, I got a little more ballsy. I took Trevor Lawrence over Burrow and Jalen Hurts. I was like, Burrow's all banged up. I was like, Trevor Lawrence can run. I was like, this feels like he's going to go in there just as long as Meyer doesn't fuck him over. He's going to be aces, in my opinion. Let's keep him going with the comments. P Nasty holding it down. Eric Burkholder. If you haven't heard our Fantasy Affair Fantasy Football podcast, drops every week. They've been doing divisionals, beat reporters, you name it. FFaffair.com. We have it covered. Let's keep it going, man. Let's hit it up with some breakouts. Y'all down?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Before we get to breakouts, though, has everybody heard of Viridian Global? Harris, tell us a little bit about this other gear. It doesn't have to be just Scott Fishbowl stuff. You see Josh Smokey over there doing his thing, but you see this other Ryan Tanna Thrill, Soldier Fields, LaVisca rocking the V gear, man.
Absolutely, and we've got Smokey there is rocking one of my favorites. That's the magician lightning in the bottle, the Kenny Gainwell t-shirt that we were really hoping that he would land somewhere where he could get that RB1 work. Maybe he will in Philly. We don't know yet. We don't know what that's going to look like, but hopefully you get some meaningful touches. It's a kick-ass shirt. And yeah, come and check us out at Viridian Global. We've got nearly 100 player designs. You'll be able to find your favorite squad, your favorite fantasy kind of football T-shirt, and of course all of our player designs, which you can find on comfortable T-shirts, nice flex fit hats, and baseball tees. So yeah, come and check us out.
Flexing on them, baby. Smoke. Where there's smoke, there are mirrors. We've seen your body of work. Let's talk breakouts, man. I hit you up. I think it was a couple days ago. I was like, Josh, I need those guys that people want to invest in this year because they are going to take off. They're going to explode. And you said, Maddie, look no further than South Beach. Let's talk about them. South Beach, but then Chi-Town as well. You went Tua and Mooney, baby. Fill us in on these breakouts.
Well, I mean, if we're going to go for breakouts, let's go for something that's a little bit further down the list, a little bit less low-hanging fruit. I mean, last year, one of my breakouts was Calvin Ridley, so I'm going to go a little deeper this time.
Miss Cleo over there, I get it.
Hey, when it works, baby. But in all seriousness, I have been a huge Tua guy since college. Ask Will, man. I've been in on this guy. Last year was a little painful to watch, but you know what? Recovering from a pretty major surgery, you got to cut the kid a little bit of slack, and they weren't really opening up the playbook for him too much. And then we get to the offseason. Fitz moves on. Fantastic for Washington. And who did they replace him with? Jacoby Brissett. I'm not worried about Jacoby Brissett taking over from Tua. Not only that, look at the offseason and look at the draft. They went on receivers. They picked up Will Fuller, a super underrated pick. I love that one. When he gets back from that suspension, they are going to fly, baby. And then his college teammate, Jalen Waddle. Super talented dude. And then no running back. These guys are focused on a pass offense now. I think they're going to open it up for Tua, and I'm excited to see it, man. I don't have enough shares of him, but I'm such a huge believer. I'm getting them wherever I can. And then Mooney, another guy that I have been in on since the second he got drafted, man. Not that I'm some kind of Chicago fan or anything like that. Let's put that out there. But Mooney, man, I believe in the talent, but I didn't believe in what was distributing the ball to him. Last year, he was 11th in deep targets. He had 23 of them on the season. He was top 10 in prairie yards, as Ty likes to say. Hi, buddy. And those unrealized air yards or prairie yards, he had 739 of them.
Woo.
Yeah. And towards the end of the season there, he had 5 red zone targets in the last 4 weeks, resulting in 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
With a quarterback that I just drafted in Scott Fishbowl in Justin Fields, a guy who can chuck that deep ball. If him and Mooney can connect, I don't think it's going to be longer than 3 weeks until we see Fields take over that starting role. And when he does, he's the one that can unlock Mooney. I was so happy Chicago traded up and got a guy that can hit the deep threat. And that's what Mooney is, man. This guy can be absolutely fantastic out there. And for me, that's one of my breakouts this year. So boom, put my damn name on it, man. Tua and Mooney.
What I love about both these guys is they're on good teams that got better. You say Fields, you say Will Fuller, Waddle, just weapons galore for both these offenses with good defenses. In the NFL these days, it's a passing offense for the most part, unless you're trying to be the Seahawks, but some of the others. But Mooney, man, this is a guy who is dirt cheap right now. Nobody's
and that's the best part.
Exactly. And then what? Tua, this was before Lawrence came. This was the guy that was supposed to be the next great, the next Hall of Famer coming out. And I love what you said about the hip. You got to give it some time. This could have been a devastating injury, and the price you're paying for Tua, there's probably a ton of people that have already given up on this guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you see it out there, man. He falls beyond where he should in my books. I think at the ADP you're seeing him at, he's going to outdo that. He's going to outproduce that, and he's going to become a value at the end of the season. You're going to be thanking your damn lucky stars that you tuned in to get the best information on Fantasy Affair.
Oh, yes. Let's keep this info going because these are the yum-yums that people want to help them during the offseason to catch that next glimmer of hope that you can get late. Now, Mr. Harris, you went a little early and you went a little late. So let's fill us in on these two guys. We got a rookie. We got a dime in our hand. Let's see if it turns into a dime piece. Here it is, baby. Fill us in on the Najee. Indeed.
Yeah, I'm rocking the Najee. It's Harris time. Pittsburgh hat right now. This isn't I am a huge Steelers fan, but this is not a homer pick. This is a smart fantasy football move. You've got to get in on the Najee train today. Because once the season starts, once that first 2 weeks of the season pass and he's pounding the rock and he's getting the significant amount of carries, all of the workhorse carries in Pittsburgh, and being used like a wide receiver, I don't think that people are really realizing that he is going to be an absolute PPR machine. If Ben Roethlisberger's arm is shot like everybody wants to believe, I don't necessarily believe. But where are those short yardage passes going to go? Certainly Najee, being an outlet for Big Ben, is going to be a big target for Ben in this coming season. You look at prime Lev Bell, for example, 2016, 2017, when he was commanding 17% of the team's targets and over 22 in his top season in 2017 when he was an absolute PPR machine. Ben throws to his backs. He just hasn't had one to be able to throw to. James Conner, when healthy, was a very good receiving back, being able to take those outlet passes, being able to run some wheel routes and be productive with that. Najee's a different beast. Najee's another caliber above James Conner. I think that Conner's going to do great in Arizona if he's healthy. But Najee, the time for Najee is right now. You will never get him cheaper than what he has right now. And you look at his last season at Bama when he only got about 10% of the team's targets, but he put up really good yardage. Like his yards per catch was around 12 yards per catch, which is, I don't like to do player comps, but there is so many different corollaries with him and Lev Bell. That was peak Lev Bell type of numbers. And if we're going to see the volume of Najee in the passing game that I expect, he's going to be an RB1. Absolutely.
Woo. Woo. I'm getting hot flashes, and I'm not even an old lady. This is hot, dude. Now let's talk about the guy that everybody is not so hot on. Daniel Jones. Everybody remembers that blooper last year of him just being tripping over his feet, all that. People dogged this guy constantly. So tell me why he is your breakout.
I mostly just did it to irk Smokey. Danny Dimes was my Valentine, my fantasy football Valentine this year, and I'm still a believer. I'm a believer, in the talent Daniel Jones hasn't had anybody to throw to. He also hasn't had an O-line to play behind. And he's played, 5 games with Saquon Barkley in his entire career. Daniel Jones has the talent. We've seen it in his deep ball completion since his rookie season. He's been top 5 in deep ball completion. He continues to be able to hit those deep passes. And now he's got a contention specialist in Kenny G that he's going to be able to play those toss-up balls. We thought that maybe Mooney would be able to do that last season. Sorry, not Mooney, Slayton. Slayton isn't cut out for a WR1 role. We saw that last season. We saw him, except for against my Steelers, really drop the ball in his addition for wide receiver 1. Daniel Jones also, in terms of fantasy football, has that rushing upside. He has incredible speed. Everybody laughs at that faceplant that he did, but dude, that was like the third fastest clocked speed in the NFL last season. He almost hit 23 miles per hour on that run. Like that type of athleticism, you can't teach that. They have invested, just like the Miami organization has invested in weapons around Tua. Look at what they brought in for Daniel Jones, right? They've got Kenny G, bringing him in from Detroit. They brought in some interesting pieces, whether you like them or not, and Kadarius Toney to hopefully give Jason Garrett some more creativity in that play calling. And they also brought in John Ross, another field stretcher, incredible speed that, if you have John Ross and you have Darius Slayton on the outside opening up the field for Daniel Jones, Kenny Golladay playing in the middle of the field, that's going to be some very dangerous receivers. Evan Ingram as well. Hey man, I haven't let the ship totally sail on Evan Ingram. If he's working up the seam and getting some of those balls, we've seen that he's been able to put up some serious yak. This is going to be an interesting team. You got a safety guy in Sterling Shepard. I think it's going to be pretty dynamic. Everybody's sleeping on Danny Dimes. I'm not. I'm drafting him where I can. I've got him in a lot of dynasty squads. I love the upside, and a healthy Saquon, if his knee is fully healed, that adds another dynamic that we really haven't seen yet from the Giants, and that we really haven't seen yet from Daniel Jones. So he is a diamond in the rough and can be a Konami code light, I think, this season. I do want to temper expectations, because I've heard the comparison to Josh Allen way too much.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Way too much. The arm talent of Josh Allen and just the ability that he has as a runner, I think, is on another tier. But can Daniel Jones be a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah. I mean, I think he should be able to lock into a solid quarterback 2 role. I mean, a streamer, a guy that, like you said, he has that rushing floor, so you can start him in a pinch. And as you were talking about these weapons, man, Kyle Rudolph, nobody brings him up.
Yeah.
But to a football team, a guy that can play tight end and block, something that Evan Ingram, pretty much a receiver, can't do. You move Evan Ingram to the slot. You got Toney, which everybody hates him in fantasy, but NFL scouts love this guy. Yep. So it's just, like you said, weapons, man. Oh, the Gators, yes, sir. So all these pieces around him make him better. It makes Tua better. It makes these breakouts better. So I can dig it, man. And he's sitting, I think we're in the 10th, 11th round of the Scott Fish Bowl, and he's still sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah, just sitting there. Nobody's touching that guy or Darnold. And those are 2 guys, have top 5 draft capital. And everybody's giving up on them, except for the teams with all these weapons. So very interesting. All right, I want to hit mine up because I've been tooting these guys' horns all off season. I love these guys. If they fail, blank. I'm not going to get into it. Dude, Claypool and Dobbins. Claypool. Let's start off with Claypool. Like you were saying, maybe Big Ben's arm shot, but this is a guy, wide receiver 24, with a shooty, a terrible target share, no snaps whatsoever, and a rookie. But this guy could be DK Metcalf light, in my opinion. had the touchdowns last year. To me, this is a buy-in dynasty. I'm not as worried about Juju, Deontay, any of those guys. I think Big Ben improves. I think this offense has to pass more than people think. You're playing the Ravens. You're playing the Browns. You're playing a Bengals team that has improved drastically since last year.
Mm-hmm.
Claypool, man, why is he getting no love? Is it just because Big Ben's noodle arm, or is it because they don't see it?
It's anti-Canadian prejudice, and I won't stand for it.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I mean, I think that it does have partly to do with Ben's arm. Deontay is the clear number one target, and I love what you said about the dynasty buy, though. This is the season to buy Claypool, because if Deontay is going to get some serious target volume, if Najee is going to start eating into that volume as well, Claypool's volume is going to go down. It's going to go down.
That snap chair is not going to be as bad as his rookie year. And then you see him used as a gadget player, those sweeps, those tosses. This is a big dude. Yeah, the jet sweep show in season, Smokey Brown. It's Harris time. You know where to find him. True North Canadian football. Oh, dude. Claypool's a buy to me. Oh,
I love it.
I love Claypool, and then you see Dobbins over there, another guy. Well, he's not going to get the pass work. Well, guess what? The Ravens ran 599 rushes last year. Let's not worry about pass volume. Let's worry about all those carries that he's going to get, 200 to 250, like 6.3 yards per carry, one of the most efficient runners in the NFL. To me, this is another guy, the calm before the storm. RB 16, 21 range he's going. This year, he's like RB 8 or 9. Mark it. Could be more if he gets pass work, but he doesn't need it. Dobbins is a beast.
Oh, I agree. I love
you see, I get real like animated and hyped for it because I've had to defend it to like 14-year-old kids. They're fighting me over it. I'm like, all right, hats on backwards. Let's go. Back me up.
I love the Dob Goblin as we call him at True North Fantasy Football. He's such a great runner, and the Ravens are going to continue to pound the ball. I am not buying into the narrative that Lamar's going to pass more. I don't think that it's going to happen. That they added a possession receiver in Bateman. I don't think that's going to change. I don't think that's going to change much. Right.
If anything, it gets him a couple more first downs. So what does that do for Dobbins? Puts him on the field more.
More TDs, right?
Exactly. Dude, we've ran through Scott Fishbowl and breakouts. Guys, this is the fun part of the show. I'm not hitting you up with any more fantasy yum-yums. If you don't want it, get off of it. Calvin, another one of my favorites. I'm all in on Gus Edwards backup. Hell yeah. Handcuffs are it, man. If you can get him, you can get a Pollard. These guys, you were talking Gainwell. Could you imagine a more dangerous pass catcher for Philly? This guy could eat into everybody's work. Handcuffs, you got to have a couple of them. But let's get to the fun part. We're talking action. Because action, baby. I want action. Everybody's allowed to go back to the movies. We're talking action movies, action sitcoms, anything and everything. We're going to see. We got 3 guys. We'll see how these votes go. Let's start it with the big one. Rambo and Terminator. Sly and Mr. Arnold. Let's go with you, Smokey. What is your choice of these two if you're drafting?
You know what? It's going to be a pretty quick Terminator for me. That movie, hands down. I can go back and watch that, and it still kicks the ass that it did the first time you watched it. Rambo, to me, it doesn't hold up as well. And you know what? Give me a little sci-fi bent into that as well.
I think if it was Rocky, it might hold up a little bit better. But we're not going Rocky. We're going action. We're going Rambo, the character. Harris, what do you got here?
T2 is probably one of the greatest movies of all time. My VHS, I remember I got that as a birthday present maybe when I was like 10 years old, and easily wore through that VHS tape, man.
I think it still holds up. Like, it's that good.
Well, hell yeah.
Absolutely. So it's unfortunately for Sly, it's Arnold.
Yeah, I'd be back. I'm all over Terminator as well. I do have a Rambo story. When I had my first child, of course, you get sit up in the hospital all night waiting for the birth. I watched probably Rambo 1, 2, 3 all on run, and it wasn't bad for being. I'm not watching QVC or anything like that, so I do have a little bit of Rambo experience. Just not, still doesn't, wipe the floor. Here we go.
Love it.
The Governor. Absolutely. Smokey spitting facts. They love you, Smoke. Let's keep the good times going. How about TV shows? Dog the Bounty Hunter or Walker, Texas Ranger? Let's go to Harris.
I gotta go with the man from the Big Island. I gotta go Dog on this one. I mean,
the perfect Halloween outfit for somebody.
Oh, absolutely. How can you mess with that hair and the shade combo? I mean, that's the absolute ultimate. I got into this. This was at the beginning of kind of reality television, right? Dog was one of the OGs. So Dog gets my vote. I don't want to get karate chopped by Chuck Norris though. So
what's cool about this?
He's fucking 80.
The picture of Chuck Norris right here that I have on the screen, I looked it up. He's actually squatting in the picture. You can't see it, but that's like he posed as in like a squat formation. Smoke, what do you got here? You a Dog fan? Or are you going Chuck Norris?
Oh, I'm gonna stick with Dog on this one. Island to island. I mean, ours is just a little colder and not quite as pineapple-y. But I'm going with Dog too. And I believe the word that Will was looking for is iconic. But yeah, he has style all to his own. Give me the guy that's actually out there busting heads and not the guy that's doing it in between takes.
As Dog would say, go with God, bro. Let's keep it going. Die Hard or Bloodsport? Everybody loves Die Hard. I'm going to go first on this one. I don't love Die Hard. I'm just weird. Everybody's hype on it. I'm hype on Jean-Claude Van Damme, the Steven Seagals of the world. Just these no-nonsense ass kickers. If I want the action, I can go to Arnold or Sly. I'm going Bloodsport. Smokey, who you got, baby?
Oh, bring me to the Kumite, baby, because it's Bloodsport.
Hell yeah.
Down, man. That's one of my favorite, you call it action movie, fighting movie, whatever genre you want to put it in. It's one of my favorites, man. An absolute classic. Pick which brick you want me to do, baby. Just poof. Got it. Let's do this.
Eric, tell me, Eric's one of our fantasy affarians. Like I said, he does work all over fantasy. Give him a follow, a like. This guy's the titties, kitties, whatever. But dude, yeah, I can't get into Die Hard. It's not my style. All right, Harris, are you?
So
go ahead.
I got a confession.
Break our hearts.
I've never seen Bloodsport.
Then you are not welcome to my dojo. No,
I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it.
Dude,
I'm gonna watch
so
it.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
You've got a homework assignment now.
Shame on me.
I feel kind of bad I didn't put Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon in any of these, but you'll have to forgive me. And then, of course, dude, I'm a Patrick Swayze fan. I don't know. There's just something in my heart that just loves these two movies. And it's just maybe because he's just such a good actor. But you can't go wrong with either. Smoke, fill me in, dude. Are you a Roadhouse guy, or he's just cleaning up a bar, the Double Deuce? He's a cooler. Or are you going Bodie from Point Break, where he is? He's that surfer dressing up as a dead president, robbing banks, going to Cambodia, surfing the 100-year wave. What is your style here?
Give me Blue Collar Roadhouse, man.
Name's
that's Swayze just cleans up nice.
Oh, all right. Let's go, Harris. What you got here, baby?
This is tough. I mean, Swayze is, for me, one of the all-time greats. One of my favorite movies of all time is Red Dawn, the original with Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen. I mean, it's one that a lot don't talk about. But this is tough. I mean, this is two classic Swayze movies, and they're very different, right? Like, Point Break.
See Swayze is a bad guy that often.
You really don't, but he plays the role so well, and that's such a classic movie. But I mean, the throat scene in Roadhouse.
Rips his throat out. God, so classic.
Oh, in terms of the character, I gotta go Dalton in Roadhouse. But like for movie wise, it's actually Roadhouse for me is the Point Break is the better movie. But I like Dalton in Roadhouse as the better Swayze character. So Roadhouse gets my vote, but it is super, super close.
Be nice till it's time to not be nice. How will we know? You'll know. All right. Last, before we get out of here, these are a couple randoms. Action. Are we going Sonic or are we going Mortal Kombat? Harris, what you got here, baby?
Finish him.
Yeah, silence victory. Mr. Smoke.
This is a tough one for me, man. Like the first system I ever had was the original NES, but the first one we got after that was the Sega Genesis, and I was deep into that, man. I'm talking like Sonic 1 was all right, but like Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic Knuckles, putting any other game on Sonic Knuckles for the bonus games, everything. Amazing. I played a lot of Sonic, man. Getting the cheat codes in there and everything. It was so much fun. But
Sub-Zero.
That's the thing. Sub-Zero is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. As far as fighting goes, I mean, it's the originator. I remember playing in a basement against the kids I played on a hockey team with and doing the test of strength, just jamming
combos, buttons. All of it.
Oh, it was just the greatest. And, you know, those visceral memories stick with you. The replay value is off the chart for both of these. This is probably the toughest decision I've ever had to make in my entire life.
Oh, I love it. I've done my job.
Oh, my God.
Have you seen the new movies of these two?
Oh, no, I haven't.
What? You haven't seen the Mortal Kombat? God, dude.
I'm going Mortal Kombat. Okay, locking it in. Mortal Kombat.
You're watching it tonight, and he's watching
the character named Smoke.
Homework assignments. I will come to Canada.
I got Amazon.
Harris, what you got, baby?
Mortal Kombat. Yeah. So
all day, every day.
Absolutely. I mean, Sub-Zero, Scorpion are two of the most iconic video game characters of all time. Mortal Kombat to me, I'll tell you a funny story why I'm probably not a big Sonic guy. I've only got into Sonic recently because my daughter loves the movie, super into it. But growing up, I only had actually computer games. I never had a Nintendo console or a Sega console. So I played Mortal Kombat, if you can believe it, on a PC.
What? So crazy.
Yeah. So I got to go with Mortal Kombat. Still I could still pick that up today, play it in the arcade, play it at home. It's an all-time classic.
Mortal Kombat.
Can I do a quick shout out to Tyler Lansdowne? He's in my Scott Fishbowl division. He actually works at NetherRealm Studios. He's a community manager there. Yeah, I know. When I came home and I didn't even know I was assigned to a Scott Fishbowl division yet. And I got this ad and it's this dude from NetherRealm Studios got like 50, 60,000 followers. I'm like, hell
yeah.
And then I see him like, oh, we're in a division together. Fuck yeah.
Dude, I would do myself a disservice if I didn't mention the Wrestling Mat Podcast. You can get your merch at where? Viridian Global. You need a fanny pack. You need a name tag. You need a Speedo. We got you covered because it's Viridian rocking that V gear. But let's talk a little wrestling and we'll get out of here. We got Stone Cold Steve Austin hanging out with Smokey, drinking and smoking a fatty with Matt Daddy. And then we got the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, freak out. Smokey, who are you going here? Both these guys are ass kickers extraordinaire.
They both speak to my heart as well. Just the pure don't give a crap attitude of Stone Cold, man. It resonates. I don't care who you are. There's a little piece inside of you that resonates.
Oh, absolutely.
Male or female, it doesn't matter, man. Everyone likes to kick a little ass and take some names. But then there's Macho Man. He had his tender sides too with Dear Miss Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, let's go. Get out. Yeah, I get it.
But his promos, I mean, I kind of tipped my hat earlier with the promo for this show that I cut on my lunch break today.
I love it.
But
Dedication, baby.
Oh, he cut the best promos. He was memorable. He was a showman. The dude knew how to do it, and I can respect that aspect of it. So for me, it's close. It's one of the closer ones tonight. Not as close as Mortal Kombat and Sonic, but I gotta go with my man Randy Savage.
Oh, Randy, yeah. Harris, I see you looking at me with those eyes. Yeah, a little bit of jealous rage. Are you going the Rattlesnake from Texas? Or are you going the Macho King?
I'm going with the Rattlesnake, and this is more of just a generational thing. When I started to get into wrestling, I mean, Macho Man, it was just a little bit behind my time, and Stone Cold was prime time. That's when I was into the WWF. Was when Stone Cold was saying so. So I got to go with Stone Cold. 100%.
We got one more, and then we're out of here. Out like the garbage of yesterday's news. D-Generation X, 2 words for you. Suck it. Or NWO. Today is 25 years ago today. Hulk Hogan turned heel, and the NWO was born today.
Wow.
So why not talk NWO and DX? This is where factions started. Smoke, are you an NWO or are you a DX? There's really not a wrong answer.
Yeah, that's tough because I was kind of in on some of the other teams around D-Generation X time, like the Nation of Domination, a couple of the tag team duos and stuff like that. So they were there. I wasn't fully in on them, but you look at some of the legends that were in NWO, man, and that heel turn was legendary, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I gotta go with NWO, man.
Too sweet. Harris, man, send us home. Who you got here, baby?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, always going against Hulk is always a bad move, but again, I gotta go with the Generation X, man. I mean, they just didn't give an F about anyone or anything whatsoever. I mean, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they just came in, they just kicked ass, and they just didn't give an F. And I totally respect that. They shook up the wrestling world. So for me, the iconic still lives on to this day, man. All the time.
Dude. We're wrapping it up, baby. Scott Fishbowl 11. Breakouts. Arnold, Sly, Viridian Global, dude. Scott Fishbowl rocking the V-gear. The Smoke Show. The Jet Sweep. We've done it all. The Matty Daddy. Smoky Hell, baby. And it's always Harris time. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Any last words, Mr. Harris?
Hey, Matty, I just want to say thanks, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love the energy that you bring. All the work that you put into the show is absolutely incredible, man. Your viewers are blessed to be able to tune into this greatness every single week. Make sure we gotta have Matty Daddy on the Jet Sweep show. Yes. We're going to be coming at you live Monday nights at halftime. It's going to be a really quick hitting show. Get you set up for the week. We'll make sure that we get Matty Daddy on there, but love what you're doing, Matty. You're an absolute saint, man. Love working with you and the energy that you bring every single day, dude.
Dude, you meet people in this industry, this community that you just gel with, you vibe with, and instant sparks when we met, man. And I am forever grateful to have you on my tag team. Smoke, dude. This is new, but I'm digging it. I love the energy. Dude, there's not many personalities out there, and you deliver the goods. not just during this. You are you, and that's a huge. Don't change, man. There's not that many of us out there. So, Josh, I seen the jet sweep. It's badass, dude. It's you, and that's what I dig. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TNFF_SMOKEY, like MOUSC. You can also find us at Jet Sweep Show on Twitter, and you can find the Smoke Show at _smoke_show. And I gotta thank you, Matty Daddy. This has been an absolute blast, man. Anytime I can come on a podcast with my boy Will and a person that, like you said, can have that comic book like meeting of two equal energies where it's just meeting
Nobody's falling asleep, baby.
Ooh, never falling asleep on this shift, my friend.
All gas, no breaks.
Never.
The Matty Daddy, your Wednesday night delight, guys. Till next time, it has been a pleasure. My treasure.